There's Coach Fortner, and her team suffocated Central Michigan, allowed just 25% shooting in a 74-40 victory. As much anticipation entering a season as perhaps any ever at Georgia Tech after this Yellow Jackets team advanced to the NCAA Sweet 16. They returned 97% of their scoring, 97% of their rebounding, and now making their home debut for the 2021-22 season.
Yes, it's going to be a big game for Georgia Tech, trying to capitalize and build on what they did a season ago, making it to the Sweet 16. And this Kennesaw State team, they're hungry. They're looking for a new definition, new coach, new day.
They certainly want to have a blockbuster win of their own as Georgia Tech wins the tap, and we're underway. We'll introduce your starters as we get going. Loyal McQueen has it on the deck for the Yellow Jackets.
And right now, you see that Kennesaw State's in a bit of a matchup zone, playing man, but really trying to be physical with Georgia Tech and get a steal in that first
as Johnson
possession.
Strips loaded by Lawton on the pull-up jumper. And the first possession for the Owls, led by Imani Johnson, the senior, preseason All-Atlantic Sun, and the program's all-time assist leader, Breland Snipes, 14 points in that season-opening win over Thomas University.
Yeah, Breland Snipes came on big against Thomas University a season ago, only averaging around 2 points a game, but 14 points in that win the other night.
And a soft jumper from the baseline by Gabby Legister. And Kennesaw State will not deviate from their identity. They will pick up the Jackets in full court as we look at the Jackets starting five. They'll get a 2-on-1 the other way. Aaliyah Love with the up and under. Out there with Kubai, Lawton, McQueen, and Hermosa.
And that was a big-time play right there by Aaliyah Love, just continuing to do what she did a season ago. Very versatile guard for this Tech lineup.
The catch and shoot by Poole is up and good. Alexis Poole, we profiled her in the open. The senior from Ellenwood, Georgia, coming off her 28th career double-double.
Yeah, Alexis Poole, that was a big-time shot. That's what Kennesaw State is going to need for her this evening if they want to get this win against Georgia Tech. And here's some of the keys. Kennesaw State, they're going to really have to limit paint points for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech likes to drive, go to the paint. We just saw what Lorella Kubai did, and control the tempo. But they're going to continue to play their game. They're not going to change anything up. That's what Coach Blue told us earlier. And for Georgia Tech, they have to play aggressive defense and take care of the basketball. Kennesaw State did a great job the other night against Thomas University, creating 43 turnovers.
43 in 40 minutes. You do the math.
That's some work.
Kubai strokes the first free throw in. The ACC Co-Defensive Player of the Year a season ago. First team All-ACC for the senior from Terni, Italy. And she knocks this game at 4.
What a leader, Kubai. I mean, she didn't even have a big game against Central Michigan, didn't have to, but just her presence alone, she's going to continue to play great defense and rebound.
Georgia Tech serving up some pressure of their own. Hermosa feeding London in stride. Hermosa there to follow it.
Wow. When you got bigs that can run and move around in a press like Lorella Kubai and Hermosa, that's pretty spectacular. Hermosa leading the break, getting the putback on the miss from Lodoma Lotnan.
Hermosa, 18 points, career high against Central Michigan. She did that on 9 of 10 shooting, and that's an offensive foul on Poole as she extended the arm on Lawton.
And you just see Hermosa's able to get that steal, dribbling it, taking it down, passes to Lodoma Lotnan, and she misses it. And right there for the putback, great anticipation by Hermosa.
Got a steal, offensive rebound,
that's
and
some activity.
buckets.
Activity for the 6'5" post player.
The sophomore from Vitoria, Spain. Lawton off the Kubai screen, reverses to Hermosa. And here is Kubai with the drop step. Shot that off the bottom of the backboard. Good job by Legister to pin her deep.
That was a good job. Legister pushed Kubai out on that baseline, drove her out, and she made a bad shot attempt trying to do a reverse underneath the basket.
And now Aaliyah Love dinged with the foul, guarding Imani Johnson.
And Imani Johnson is going to be very active. She is the leader to the starting point guard for this Kennesaw State team. And she didn't have a great scoring performance against Thomas University, but today Coach Blue is expecting her to really pick it up in the scoring column.
Still dished out 6 assists, the program's all-time leader. Another turnover as Kubai jumps the passing lane.
Man, these bigs are so active. What an asset to have for your ball club, to have your post players getting steals.
That's what makes this Georgia Tech defense so treacherous, the mobility of their bigs. Already seen some flashes of that.
Exactly.
Love down the baseline, sharp angle. She draws the foul.
And that's what Tech has to continue to do. Be aggressive, do what they do best, drive into the paint and trying to get points in the paint. They definitely have the size advantage right now against Kennesaw State, but they have to take advantage to see if they can get some buckets.
Personal was on Stacey Jones. It sends Love to the foul line. Leah Love also coming off a career high in the opener versus Central Michigan, 15 points.
Yeah, she had a big game as well. Great production from her as well as Armosa.
Stays a 6-4 Georgia Tech lead. Jackets 67% as a team at the foul line a season ago.
And free throws are going to be critical. Georgia Tech understands that, especially making it as far as they did a season ago. But free throws can really get you over the hump in close ball games.
Love splits the pair, 7-4 Georgia Tech. Withering pressure in full court by the Jackets. They trap Baker, trying to unload it, but not before time runs out. 5-second violation as they blitz the freshman Amaris Baker.
Yeah, that was great defense by Georgia Tech. Baker was looking for someone to throw it to, but got trapped, got caught up, couldn't find anyone to pass, and gets the call for the 5 seconds.
Already a 4th turnover forced by the Jackets. Lawton comes around the Kubai screen, and a foul called on Johnson.
And Lawton had a quiet game against Central Michigan as well. I know Coach Fortner is expecting her to show some more offensive production, but she's the starting point guard for this team, has a lot of responsibilities, great leader, feisty player. But I know she's going to come around in this game and try and get more of a production out of herself.
Already proven production by her, averaged close to 19 points across 3 NCAA tournament games. And she catches with a shot clock at 11. Penetrates, floats, and hits.
Nice runner. Nice runner by Lawton. She has worked on that shot. She has really improved, the most improved player a season ago in the ACC, and she's continuing to show it in her senior season.
Preseason All-ACC as the Jackets lead by 5. Jones off the window and in. Stacey Jones, the 6'1 sophomore, 5th in the ASUN in rebounds a year ago, snaps the Georgia Tech run.
And that was a great move by Jones. Kennesaw State has to be aggressive, attack Georgia Tech, see if they can draw fouls and get some buckets in the paint.
Hermosa misses the stick back. Love tries, can't get it. That's something Octavia Blue talked to us extensively about, keeping Georgia Tech's bigs off the glass. Able to catch a break there, and they come out of there with it.
They're doing a good job. They're just staying in the paint and standing up strong and challenging shots and getting rebounds. That's going to be key and important for Kennesaw State's post players to defend these Tech post players tonight.
Baker hedged, gets a step on the Queen, and an offensive foul. Lorella Kubai, who else, plants the feet and takes the charge.
Man, and she is the expert in taking charges for this Georgia Tech team. Just great positioning. She was right there. Easy call for the referee to make. Stood her ground, and Lorella Kubai gets a charge in this game, her first one in this game.
First, but certainly not the last this season.
No, it surely will not be. She's just so active on defense as a post player. It's pretty spectacular to watch.
Love off the kick out, hopscotching through and laying it in.
Man, what a nice move. You know, we saw some signs of this in her freshman campaign a year ago, but Love is just coming out her sophomore season, and you can see the improvement, feeling really confident driving to the lane on that last shot.
Blocking foul on Kubai as we get another look at the nifty footwork of Aaliyah Love.
It was, and a nice little hop step to the paint. Nice finish by Love to extend Georgia Tech's lead to 5.
And it gives Love 5 points. Former 4-star recruit out of Kansas City, Kansas.
And you see Kennesaw State in this horn set. Nice drive by Baker, nice drive. And you saw Aaliyah Love staying close over to the side. She didn't want to give that three-point shot or any openings to Johnson. And that was a nice finish by Baker.
Baker shaking off the early turnover, the freshman from Philadelphia, so you know she's a creator. Tough pass across the baseline, slapped to Lawton. Dishes to an open Kubai. Overcooks the jumper. Hermosa, another offensive rebound, and a stick back for Hermosa.
And that's a great job. It seems like Hermosa is just picking up where she left off a game ago. Right there, great positioning for that miss by Kubai. Gets the offensive rebound and a nice putback.
They can unlock another presence in the post alongside Kubai. You can project how dangerous this Georgia Tech team might be as we have a travel called as Jones brought it on the deck, and that takes us to a timeout. 13-8 Georgia Tech. Opening minutes from McCamus Pavilion, the home opener for the Yellow Jackets. giving the fans a lot to buzz about in the early going. Octavia Blue working the whiteboard during the timeout, checking out the stats. She sees her team perfect in the field foul, but need to do a better job protecting the basketball as they trail Tech by 5.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's done a great job to start this game with their defensive pressure, forcing 6 turnovers so far in this first quarter. But she's going to have to find a way to get her team settled down a bit to find and figure out a way to handle Tech's full court pressure.
Georgia Tech sub off the timeout. Digma Stroutman up. Grad transfer from Syracuse joins the rotation. Gets the blow by and the blocking foul.
And what a transfer to get in Digna Stroutman. She's been spectacular in that first game, 19 points coming off the bench, and was about 9 for 10 or had a great shoot night. She's a 3-point threat, can really stretch the floor, a 4 that can stretch the floor for Georgia Tech, and that's a great asset to pick up for Nell Fortner's bench.
Foul was already the 5th of the quarter against the Owls, so it sends Stroutman to the line. It was 10 of 11 at the line last year for Syracuse. Rattles home the second. Georgia Tech by 6. Now Stroutman started all 120 games of her career at Syracuse, but coming off the bench, though Nell told us at shoot-around today, she's still going to log starter minutes. And if there's one area where Georgia Tech lacked last season in spite of that Sweet 16 run, not a lot of experience off the bench. Stroutman can certainly fill that role as she challenges the shot underneath.
And such a big presence at 6'2", 6'3", has great size, can defend, and can score. And she's played in the ACC, like you said, a starter for an ACC team in Syracuse for 4 seasons. So that's a great asset for Georgia Tech to pick up.
Jackets run down the offensive rebound. They reset with Lautinen. Soft pull-up, short, and Lautinen, no good. And the rebound, Whitfield for the Owls.
And that was great positioning right there for Kennesaw State. No one from Georgia Tech really crashed the boards on that offensive board, but they're going to have to really be feisty, go and get second chance points. That's what's been working so far for them in this first quarter.
Johnson hounded by Lautinen. Lob too tall, but there was a push in the back on Hermosa.
Yeah, a slight push. Hermosa extended that arm, and it was right in front of the ref that was standing on the baseline. But just great positioning by Paul, and then Hermosa gets called for the foul. Slight push in the back.
She grabs the seat. Kubai comes back in. Johnson edges away on Love. Shot clock at 10. Wraps the bounce pass across the paint. The foul called as Paul took it up.
And that was a great job by Johnson to keep her dribbles. She was in traffic, trying to figure out how she was going to make something happen. Aaliyah Love was playing great defense, great move and pass. Right there to Paul. Stroutman a bit late. And now you have Paul at the line for 2 shots.
Yamani Paul, the sophomore from Norcross, Georgia, played 7 minutes in their win over Thomas University, which, as we said, set a program record for points, won 100-31. You saw that vision of Amani Johnson after she draw that second defender.
She can, and that's so important for a point guard. You never want to pick up your dribble. She was in traffic, and she kept dribbling until she could find an opening and find an open player, and she did in Paul.
By skips to Lautinen with a hand in her face, misfires the 3. Good closeout by Johnson as she looks to turn the floor for the Owls.
And this is an opportunity, one of the rare ones that Kennesaw State has had to kind of push the basketball, but staying with their tempo and getting set up in their offense.
Kubai stuffs it. Outlet pass to Love. 1-on-1. She's headed off, splits the defense, and finishes.
Nice move. Love looked like she was going to wait a second for some of her teammates to join her, but then sees the opening, makes the decision on the spin, and finishes with a nice lay-in.
Love, 15 points against Central Michigan. She's already got 7 inside of 2 minutes first quarter. Jackets now on top by 6. And a foul on the dribble drive. Lautinen will pick up her first.
And that was a great decision right there by Snipes, but great block by Kubai on that last possession to get the play started. Love gets in transition and is able to finish with the lay-in.
And Georgia Tech, even though we saw some flashes from Love last year, they didn't have maybe the ideal stretch four that they would like for their system, but Nell Fortner likes the development of Aaliyah Love, and adding Strabana gives them a weapon that they can use with more consistency this year.
Right, Love and McQueen were two freshmen that got a lot of playing time a season ago, a lot of experience under their belt, so they could be prepared for this sophomore season. And you're seeing it definitely in Aaliyah Love, the growth, maturity, and how she's feeling more comfortable in Nell Fortner's offense.
1 of 2 free throw trim for the sophomore Breland Snipes. Stacey Jones re-enters for the Owls, replacing Princess Harden.
And you see Kennesaw State was thinking about setting up their full court press on that dead ball, but decided to come back a bit and set up their defense.
McQueen lines up a 3, well off the mark. Kubai the rebound.
Man,
something she did in bulk all last season.
She
12th
was
in the nation in rebounds per game.
She was, and led the ACC in rebounding. It was very competitive in that aspect.
McQueen off the mark. Kubai chasing after another one, and she saves it.
Man.
2 offensive rebounds on this trip by Kubai as we approach a minute to go. The Jackets slow things down.
And look at that number. It was going to be critical. Georgia Tech already has 7 offensive rebounds to Kennesaw State 0.
And an offensive foul on the take to the rim by McQueen. Drove that into traffic.
And that was a good job by Rodriguez to be right there for that penetration by McQueen. Tech got 3 opportunities at that one and couldn't capitalize, couldn't score, and instead McQueen picks up a foul.
Georgia Tech up 7. But Kennesaw State right now, Fallon, holding the Jackets to 35% shooting, 6 of 17. And their guards are having trouble creating. A combined 1 of 10 for the Tech backcourt. What are the Owls doing well?
Well, they're doing a great job in that matchup zone. And the guards are just being very active on the outside. And then they're crowding the paint because right now Georgia Tech's not hitting any outside shots. It's allowing them to press off a bit and really focus on the post players in the paint. You see McQueen trying to make something happen on 2 players. And Rodriguez just does a great job shifting over and taking that charge. But that's going to be critical for Georgia Tech to figure out if they can get some outside shooting, because that's going to make it easy for Kennesaw State to play them, especially on the defensive end in the paint and just guarding the post.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Georgia Tech is playing without Kira Fletcher. And she will miss the season after suffering a foot injury, a 1,000-point score. Dependable veteran.
Very. That's a tremendous loss for this team. She was with them a season ago. You know, had some issues with that foot last season as well, but she needs the time to recover and heal, and hopefully she'll be back for them next season.
Johnson in the stare down with Bates. Goes to work, fakes the handoff. Drops it off, Snipes, shot clock at 3. Owls need to hurry, Snipes heaves it off the backboard, and that's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, great defense right there by Georgia Tech. It was swarming. They were all over the place on that set, making it very difficult for Kennesaw State to get a shot off. Snipes did the right thing with the shot clock going down. She had to release and take that shot with just a second left.
The turn by Kubai. And will wave off the basket, though she does draw the foul.
Man,
Legister.
She's just so athletic. Legister she has her hands full a bit, having to play one-on-one defense against Lorella Kubai, but she's done a great job so far in this game. Really trying to limit Lorella Kubai's opportunities, but I know with somebody so active as Lorella Kubai, she's just all over the place. She's kind of hard to contain.
Now the first on Gabby Legister. Kubai good on the first. Just 2 points for Lorella Kubai on 1 of 4 shooting. Did haul in 9 rebounds against Central Michigan. 18-9 Tech. Shot clock off here in the first quarter.
And this is a big opportunity to see how Kennesaw State can close out this quarter, hopefully with the score and just trying to be aggressive to the paint.
Strabana with the block.
Man.
Lands out of bounds. Kennesaw State to retain.
Strauman is perfect in the paint. That's such a great, player to have to come off the bench, and she can really defend, has great length and size, and just stands straight up and is able to block that shot that Snipes attempted.
Oh, Kubai thought that ricocheted off an owl, pleading her case, but it stays KSU possession.
Georgia Tech has to continue to try and defend. KSU is being very aggressive, trying to see if they can get a score to close this quarter out.
Legiser into the lane, got her own miss, can't finish. Back tap to Johnson with the time winding down in the first quarter, doesn't get the bounce.
Wow.
And it takes us to the end of quarter number 1. Tech making its home debut and off to a strong start against Kennesaw State. 18-9 Yellow Jackets through 1.
Oh my God. That is crazy. Oh my God. Thank you, Lord.
Well, it was already a special week for Octavia Blue. She not only got her first win as Kennesaw State head coach, she also got a special delivery from South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley. This year, Dawn Staley sent a snippet of her 2017 national championship net to every black women's Division I head coach in the country, along with a note of inspiration and encouragement. Very powerful, poignant message that she sent to her members of the coaching community.
Right, and how powerful is that? Receiving a piece of the net and a nice note from Dawn Staley, a coach that's been doing it and doing it well since she was at Temple, getting her start, and then continuing the trend at South Carolina. So that was special.
Look at Hermosa filling the lane off the feed from Stroutman. 20-9 Georgia Tech. We caught up with Coach Blue. She told us about it. She was very moved by it, but she also said, I was so busy and focused on my first game as Kennesaw State head coach. I had no idea I was expecting a package from Dawn Staley, so she was genuinely surprised when she opened it.
Right, and she's keeping it close. You need that inspiration, especially when you get your first head coaching job like Coach Blue has this season, and it's just going to carry her on. And what a way Dawn Staley paying it forward to other coaches. She was once just like Coach Blue, getting her start, and she's trying to just give some inspiration to other black female coaches in athletics or in the NCAA.
Whitfield off the kick out, no good on the three. Kubai glides in for the rebound. We asked Coach Blue, where are you keeping that lock of the net? She goes, oh, it's in my backpack.
Right.
I'm not keeping it far. And she actually showed it to her team at their film session this morning. And the whole backstory behind that, Carolyn Peck became the first black woman to win a Division I national championship at Purdue in 1999. Several years later, she gave Dawn Staley a piece of her national championship net on one condition, that when Dawn won a national championship, she would pay it forward. So when Dawn led South Carolina to the 2017 national title, she ceremonially gave Carolyn Peck's net back and then tried to pay it forward with her own net. But rather than giving it to one individual, she decided to distribute it to every black Division I head coach as an inspiration that, hey, let's reach the point now where so many of us are winning a national title, we no longer bother to keep count.
Right. And I just
cool.
think that's awesome. I mean, when you just see the unity between these black female coaches, you have to keep that up. And I think it gives good inspiration, someone that you can confidant talking to different women who've been through it and just seeing that it can be done. You have to see it to believe it.
Look at Kubai in traffic, keeps the tap alive, but pulled away by Kennesaw State in the corner, and a foul on Stroutman as he couldn't stop her momentum.
Yeah, Stroutman was running out to that corner and was trying to hustle to get that basketball back for Georgia Tech, and unfortunately gets called for the foul. But, Georgia Tech's been very intense. Both sides have. They've been hustling, and that's just a great job right there by Kennesaw State to save that basketball and get another possession.
Second foul on Stroutman, which sends Love back in, out defending Johnson. Interesting, they have the 6'1 Aaliyah Love guarding the point guard, Amani Johnson. Trying to unhinge herself from the second-year freshman. Gets the step, fades away. Short, rebound Lawton.
And Johnson's so quick, she was able to get by Love, just couldn't finish that shot. Shot it a little bit short.
Aisha Won-Adanaz also in for the first time for Georgia Tech.
And that was a great job by Kennesaw State to get back.
Well, the Jackets now 0 of 6 from three-point range, but following their own misses.
And that's what Kennesaw State has to do. They are working so hard on defense and doing a great job trying to limit Georgia Tech to one shot, but they're not. Georgia Tech's capitalizing, crashing the offensive boards hard and getting second chances.
Bates was not going to be denied. A second pull goes down the well for Sarah Bates. And it's now 23-9 Jackets.
Right, and that's just showing Georgia Tech capitalizing once again. Bates missed the first one and able to make that one. And you see how the game started for Kennesaw State and how it's going now. 0 of 11 from the field.
Isn't that the Twitter meme, how it started, how it's going?
Yeah, right.
Lautinen over the shoulder to Love in transition, but the quick hands by Johnson.
Great
Got
job.
the strip before she could elevate.
Right, great job by Johnson. Didn't give up on that play, running back. Looking like Aaliyah Love had a wide open layup and Johnson gets there. But Bates with the corner three knockdown, second opportunity, second chance shot for Georgia Tech because they've been aggressive on those offensive boards.
Sarah Bates missed the Jackets' run in the NCAA tournament, missed the last 15 games after injuring her ankle. 2-on-2, Poole with the ball fake, misses the layup though.
And that's a great job. We've seen Poole's been pretty quiet, not really getting a lot of touches to start this game, but just took it amongst herself trying to finish and just couldn't capitalize on a layup.
Bates from deep, got it again.
Man, you gotta close her out. She's Georgia Tech, is probably Georgia Tech's biggest three-point weapon, and if she's open, she's gonna knock that down.
Sarah Bates attempted 73 shots last year. 69 of them were from deep.
Yeah, she's not taking too many twos.
And there's a travel on the Owls and Whitfield. I think it was Antoine Walker. He was asked, why do you shoot so many threes? And he said, because you can't shoot fours.
And then he'll do a little shimmy. I remember Antoine when he was with the Celtics and Kentucky. But, yeah, that was a big-time shot by Bates. She's starting to feel it. I think she's about 2 for 3 from the field behind the three-point arc.
It was 34% from deep last year. Aisha Wone Adanaz, no good. Kubai rips it down, kicks it out. Lautinen off the mark.
And it's again, Georgia Tech is being very active on those offensive boards, getting second and third opportunities, just couldn't capitalize on that possession.
4+ minutes into the quarter, Kennesaw State's yet to score.
And they need to see if they can get something in their offensive sets. Get some more movement, too. They look very stagnant against this Georgia Tech defense.
Johnson with the pull-up and knocks it down.
Big-time shot by Johnson. She just decided, hey, we need some scoring. I'm going to go ahead and knock down this free throw jumper, and knocks it down, nothing but net right over Aaliyah Love.
She not only led the Atlantic Sun in assists last year, but she led the Owls in scoring, 12.5. Out chasing Bates. Can't sidestep her. She skips to Lautinen instead.
And Johnson can score. She had a 45-point game about 2 seasons ago, I think, against Liberty. So that's her career high. She can knock some buckets down, and she can shoot that three.
And that came in the ASUN tournament. ASUN tournament championship record. The trail three is off the mark. Kennesaw State 0 for 3 from downtown. And back come the Jackets up 15. Wone Adanaz off to Kubai. Knocks it down, fading away.
Right, and she likes that fade. Great job by Adanaz to get that pass. A little two-man game in the paint between she and Kubai is able to knock down that baseline jumper.
6 points, 8 boards for the preseason All-ACC forward, Loretta Kubai. In traffic, Poole can't hit.
Yeah, she had about 2 or 3 defenders on her in that paint. That was a tough shot.
Speaking of tough shots, the footwork in transition by Love.
I don't know what Love was doing this offseason, but I know one thing's for sure, she was putting in work, because that was a nice move right there by the sophomore. Gave a little body fake, body shake, and was able to knock down that J.
Game high 9 for Love. On the dribble drive, Johnson draws the foul.
And that's what Johnson needs to do. She has to be aggressive for Kennesaw State, find ways to score and get to that free throw line.
Now it helps to have a floor stretcher, and Sarah Bates happy to oblige. Couple of triples for the Fresno, California native, and the Jackets lead big. Carly Welch already in mid-season form on the graphic headlines. A knell of a season last year for the Yellow Jackets as they finished third in the ACC, advanced to the Sweet 16 where they bowed out to South Carolina. Nell Fordner, ACC Coach of the Year. Kubai Lahtinen earned individual honors. Also, both were honorable mention All-American.
Right. They were winning awards all over the place a season ago, and it was so deserving. They were the two leaders on this Georgia Tech ball club that really helped carry them to get to the Sweet 16, and they're just continuing the trend with Lodomai Lahtinen, this being her senior season, and Lorella Kubai capitalizing and getting a fifth year to come back and play for Georgia Tech.
And Kubai opting for her COVID super senior season. Johnson drains both free throws. Amani Johnson up to 4 points.
And it's going to be important to see how both of these teams close out this quarter. Right there, a chippy shot that Lorella Kubai could not capitalize. Great pass into the paint. But good defense and a great rebound by Kennesaw State, limiting Georgia Tech just to one shot.
Jackets only 35% from the floor, but Kennesaw 5 of 20, 20% as Johnson gets the runner blocked. Aviance Carter on the defense.
Right now, Georgia Tech, they're just playing great defense, really fast pace, making Kennesaw State move too fast. But a great finish right there by Baker.
Couple of nifty flips down there by Amaris Baker.
Hey, she said, I'm going to take this to the basket. Shot clock winding down. Nice finish.
Dawn Staley's hometown of Philadelphia. that we mentioned earlier this quarter. The entry to Kubai. Rotated around to Love. Carter lets it fly. In the inside position to Poole. Alexis Poole could be one of the best rebounders in the A-Sun this year. And also threatening the Division I era record for career points at Kennesaw State.
Yeah, she's a threat. You know, right now tonight she's having to compete against some big post players and great size in the Georgia Tech post.
Aviance Carter got the steal, but when she heard the whistle, she thought it was against her.
Oh, yeah, she was confused. She was a little shocked. But she's getting some more minutes her sophomore season. Last season, she would get some run a little bit, but after, you know, working out on some injuries and, you know, getting to know Coach Fortner's system, Coach Fortner trusting her to put her in this lineup to give her some opportunities.
That expression was, how could you? Oh, no, wait, never mind. We're fine. Plans to pick for Lahtinen. Swung to Bates. Looking for a third three of the quarter. Comes up short.
It's a fortunate miss because she was wide open again. Kennesaw State's going to have to rotate a little bit faster on that corner to get out on Bates.
They close hard on Johnson. Hounded by Carter. Flings it up to the rim. No good. Poole ripped it from her, though. And out it comes to Jones. He's no good. And Kubai, very few rebounds come out of her hands. Bates running the floor. Bates with the finish.
Nice pass by Lahtinen. Saw Bates cutting and running in transition and finds her wide open for the easy lay-in.
Jackets by 17 as we come up on a minute and a half in the first half. Poole traveled.
And right now, Kennesaw State just needs to slow down a little bit, try and get something in their sets. But a nice job by Lahtinen. She saw Bates run in the lane in transition and just rewards her with that pass. Bates gives her the assist with the finish.
And let the record show a 2-point field goal attempt by Sarah Bates.
Right, to start the year out.
Kubai high wires the baseline, gets it away to Carter. She takes it in deep, and an offensive foul on Carter. Good defense down low by Stacey Jones, and she stepped in front of Carter.
Yeah, great job by Jones. She had positioning, and Carter just took it in strong, but Jones was there and was able to get there in time. And that's an easy call right there.
Kennesaw State's been feisty defensively.
They definitely have. They just got to find some more ways to score, and that's a good way. Give it to Poole, Alexis Poole, and she'll figure it out. And hopefully that'll get her going to end this half.
Poole's got 4. She opted out last year. First team All-A-Sun her last full season. She gets overpowered by Kubai.
And that was a great job on 2 defenders. Kubai just had her positioning. Nice turn, nice finish for the senior.
Lorella Kubai, Fallon, almost has a double-double in this first half. 10 rebounds, 8 points.
That's the work she can put in, and it can be on any given night. You know, sometimes they don't need her to score, but the one thing that's consistent about Lorella Kubai is that she's going to play hard on the defensive end, and she's going to get a lot of rebounds for her team.
Foul there was on Bates, Tech's 5th of the quarter. So 2 shots for the sophomore from Austell, Georgia, Jody Mullins. Coming off 13 points in that season-opening win versus Thomas. Only a 1.8 point per game score last year.
Right now, these free throws are critical. You have to capitalize on these opportunities, especially when you're behind.
And Kennesaw State has not done that. That makes them 3 of 8. Shot clock is off. 2-3 zone for the Owls.
And this is going to be interesting to see what Georgia Tech can come up with, trying to get this last shot. Kennesaw State's remaining consistent, playing their zone matchup D.
Drive and dish out to Bates for 3. Love, offensive rebound. The stick back, no, but she draws the foul on Poole.
And that's something that I know Coach Blue did not want to see. Her senior post player, her best player on this squad, our best offensive rebounder and offensive player, pick up another foul right before the half is about to end.
A 3rd on Alexis Poole. And sends her to Octavia Blue's bench. And sends Love to the free throw line where she's working on a team-high 9.
Man, free throws have been tough to come by, or at least to get in the basket in this first half. Both teams not really shooting well from the free throw line, but, you know, this is something that Georgia Tech is going to have to work on if they want to have a long run or a long season like they did a season ago. Free throws are so critical.
Love misses them both, but Owls unable to track down the rebound. 4.7 seconds left, and the Jackets can get one last possession as Legister comes on for some size. Oh, the old blob, the baseline out of bounds. We'll see what Nell Fortner dials up.
Right.
Give and go to Lawton. 1 second. Fires away and off the mark. So Georgia Tech heads to halftime with a 34-17 lead over Kennesaw State. 9 points from Aaliyah Love to lead the way. 8 points and 10 boards from Lorella Kubai in the Jackets' home opener for 2022. Coming up, we'll have first half stats, highlights, and much more. Stay with us from Atlanta.
You know, Georgia Tech's defense, it was swarming in the first half, causing confusion, causing turnovers, and Kennesaw State, they're trying to figure it out in the second half to see how they can capitalize and cut into Georgia Tech's lead.
They open in the zone. Love over the top to Kubai. Gathers, lays, and scores.
And you know that's something they've been working on at practice, probably in shoot-around. Nice two-man game between Love and Kubai. She's had great positioning underneath that basket and was able to catch and score.
And that cements the double-double for Kubai. Hermosa with the stuff. Leads to the run-out. McQueen can't thread the needle. Takes a return feed and now feeds the post. Kubai to Hermosa cutting, but she can't handle it.
And that's great defense right there by Kennesaw State. Really continuing to clog that paint and get that steal right there, limiting Georgia Tech's opportunity to score another basket in the paint.
No one primary scorer for the Owls in that first half. Poole, Baker, Johnson all had 4 points. Soft touch by Jones, and she gets the Owls on the board.
And that's a great job by Jones. Great to see this type of showing, them coming out after halftime and still being aggressive, trying to attack Georgia Tech and find the holes where they can.
Stacey Jones, freshman All-Atlantic Sun last season. Kubai gets another lob on the money.
Man, you know, Kennesaw State is going to have to really put a body on Lorella Kubai. That's too easy. That's the second overhead pass she was able to catch and was able to finish at the basket.
Jackets by 19. Around the hedge goes Whitfield, lost the handle. The toss ahead to Love. She tracks it down and scores off the feed from Lautinen.
And that's that activity by Lautinen. She may not score a bunch of points sometimes, but she is going to be active on the defensive end, getting deflections, getting steals, and starting the break. And Aaliyah Love does a great job in finishing. on that fast break.
A 5th assist for Lautinen, and now it's Love getting active with steals.
Yeah.
This time to Lautinen, trying to return the favor. Hermosa there for the stick back at short.
Good rebound by Legister. Being right there, she just got the ball stolen from her on the previous possession, but gets down there and is able to get that rebound, so Georgia Tech couldn't score on that possession.
Even though it was an empty possession, you caught a glimpse there of how well Georgia Tech's front court runs the floor. And how about that finish by Amani Johnson? Up and over. Love.
Shot right there. Love clogging or just hounding her in the paint, and she's able to finish with the reverse layup.
Gives Johnson 6. She's now 3 shy from 1,000 points for her career.
Wow.
Love with the leaner and the foul.
And Snipes was right there, but definitely fouled Aaliyah Love on that shot. Aaliyah Love still being active and being aggressive, and that's what Georgia Tech needs in this offense. She's a very versatile forward for Georgia Tech and is able to create her own shot and score on her own.
Foul was on Snipes. That's her first. Love can't find the touch at the line. That makes her 1 of 5.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's been struggling from that free throw line this evening, and that's something that they have to capitalize on. You know, free throws are so important, even though when you have large leads.
Hermosa tugs down the offensive board. And a fresh possession for the Jackets.
And that's another second chance opportunity for Georgia Tech.
We have a whistle. Don't believe we have a foul. Might see some blood, perhaps, on Hermosa. And she'll get 10-2.
Good eye from the ref from a distance.
I'm telling you what.
Oh, man. Yeah, hopefully an opportunity right now for for Kennesaw State to get their defense set up. Georgia Tech trying to see if they can score. Kennesaw State staying with this 2-3 zone.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. John Campolino, our official. That's some 20/20 vision right there.
20/20 vision.
The tiniest of cuts, the tiniest of spaces, but Digna Straubmana finishes and has a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, Straubmana was right there. Nice pass in the paint. She's able to recover a tough pass and finish. You know, when you're 6'2", 6'3" down there, great height, able to capitalize and get that basketball high on the glass and finish and get the and one.
Off yet another Georgia Tech offensive rebound. Straubmana had quite a strong first impression in her debut in white and gold. 19 points, 9 rebounds against Central Michigan, had 17 of those 19 in the second half. Cashes in on the and one, and the Jackets lead by 22.
Wow, and we talked about it. What an asset to have coming off the bench. Shot the basketball extremely well, almost had a double-double, including 9 rebounds in 17 minutes of work. So that was pretty incredible.
Poole had the ball jostled away by Kubai. Straubmana averaged 7 points, close to 6 rebounds a game last year for Syracuse, another super senior, as Lautinen dribbles it out of bounds. We talked with Nell Fordner, and of course very familiar with Straubmana and their battles in the ACC. And even before she had entered the transfer portal, she loved who she was as a player, and then as she got to know her, loved who she was even more as a person and how she would fit in the culture of her team.
Right, and you know, she just said it was just something about her personality. She could just tell, and just seeing her when they crossed paths playing against each other, that she just was a good kid, a good person, and just would really fit into the system. And you're seeing that Coach Fortner has a great eye for recruiting talent.
A block by Kubai. Kennesaw State to retain, 4 to shoot. And it just so worked out that one of their signees was also from Straubmana's native Latvia. We've yet to see her tonight, Elizabeta Bulana.
Yeah, Bulana, they're both from Latvia and, you know, have a relationship. And when you have somebody from your home country that you can connect with in the U.S., that's incredible. And I think that's a big deal and probably a big reason why Coach Fortner got her here.
Got a glimpse of Bulana on the Georgia Tech bench. Between, traces the arc. Work to Love. She steps in, rains it down, no. Straubmana active for the board. Leads to an open 3 by Lautinen, and she sticks it.
Great hustle. And Straubmana with the knee pads. She was sliding to get that offensive board and pass out. And then you have Lautinen able to knock down the three. I believe that's our first one tonight.
And 4 attempts for the preseason All-ACC guard. Also her first of the season, a 12th board for Kubai.
And right now, Georgia Tech's really pushing that basketball, trying to score in transition.
Kubai flying in, ripping down the board.
You have to find Kubai because she is going to crash the boards, and she is just great at doing it, has a knack for finding that basketball when it goes up. Lightning gets her feet set, knocks down that three, really has improved her outside shooting, and we just saw it right there with that three-point shot.
Averaged 34% from deep last year. Was 11th in the ACC in scoring, 2nd in steals. She catches the inbound, quick trigger on the three, that's off the mark. Stratmano almost pried it loose from Whitfield.
And the refs are letting them play. A lot of contact on that one, but they're continuing to play basketball.
Oh, stop and go by Johnson. And the lay-in.
I think she fooled me with that one. I didn't know where she was going. And little stop and go, and then continues, gets right past McQueen. Nice move by the senior.
If that was in 2K, you'd think there was a glitch. And Johnson now 1 point shy of 1,000 for her career. A 3-second violation on the Jackets. Turns it over to the Owls when we come back. 4:42 to go, third quarter. Nell Fortner and the Jackets up 23. The senior from North Versailles, Pennsylvania, Amani Johnson, on the verge of another milestone. 1 point from 1,000 for her career. That list of accolades is long for her. Already Kennesaw State's all-time leader in career assists. Former ASUN Freshman of the Year, preseason All-ASUN, and Fallon, if that weren't enough, she's also the student body president at Kennesaw State this year.
Wow.
Her nickname is the President, and that is
nice
as literal
name.
as it is figurative.
The Prez, I love it. I mean, that's amazing she even has the time to do that. I was like, with a full load, a full basketball season, and can be student body president. That's pretty impressive.
It's the second time in the last 3 years an Owl student athlete has served as the student body president. Foul off the ball. It's a hook called on Poole.
And Amani Johnson, she's so capable. I know Coach Blue is expecting big things for her this season in her senior season, and for her to be 1 point shy from 1,000 points, that's a huge accomplishment for any collegiate athlete. If you're able to accomplish and score 1,000 points in your career, then you've been putting in some work.
We asked Coach Blue about her relationship with Amani Johnson this afternoon. She said, we've only been working together for about 6 months, but she has my brain. It's a good trade as a point guard.
Well, it is. You have to. She said for 6 months we've been working, and they already have that connection where she knows exactly what Coach Blue wants to do.
Offensive foul on Love. Nice job by Paul to set her feet and draw foul number 2 on Love.
And maybe that's that momentum that Kennesaw State needs. Great rotation. Paul was right there. Aaliyah Love still trying to be aggressive, but that was a good call right there. Great positioning by Paul for Kennesaw State.
That's the 4th charge Kennesaw State has taken tonight as Hermosa takes Love's spot.
Yeah, you can tell that's something they've been working on too in practice. You have to know the defensive rotations and when you need to help and when you have an opportunity to take a charge. So many players don't want to take that hit, but Kennesaw State is doing it tonight.
Whitfield thought about the three, tries to feed the post to Legister, but Hermosa on the floor gets the rip.
And that wasn't a good pass to Legister. It was about 3 Georgia Tech players surrounding her in the paint, and that was just an easy opportunity for Georgia Tech to get another steal.
17th Owl turnover. You see Elizabeta Bulana, the freshman from Latvia, in. The other Latvian, Stratmana, no good from 3. And it stays with Tech.
And Georgia Tech is still continuing to try and be active on the offensive end. You know, really crashing the boards hard, giving themselves second chance opportunities. Kennesaw State is still working. They're playing hard, trying to figure out how they can stop this Georgia Tech offense or stop Georgia Tech from crashing the board so hard.
And they forced the turnover on Bulana with the double dribble.
Yeah, Bulana was in the corner trying to make something happen, and it was right in front of the refs, and they were able to make that call.
Jackets on a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. Up comfortably in their home opener.
Yeah, up 23 in this game, still playing solid defense and making it incredibly hard for Kennesaw State to try and score in their offensive sets. But that's a nice turnaround move right there by Jones. And she was just comfortable, just turned, spun, and just shot that basketball and was able to connect.
Straubina wide open for three, off the mark, and the rebound Kennesaw. Whitfield triggers the run out. No looks it. Straubina to the block, but they call her for the foul.
And that's a good job. Now you see Kennesaw State seemingly getting into a rhythm, pushing the basketball in the tempo that they want to use. And right now, just a great opportunity for for Kennesaw State to capitalize and see if they can make something happen at the free throw line.
Octavia Bloom applauding the energy of her team. That foul is the third on Straubina. And to the line goes Yamani Paul, the sophomore from Norcross, Georgia.
It's good to see Georgia kids going to Georgia schools and, playing at home and just seeing that they're staying home in other states, other schools are not pulling them away.
Well, you were a Georgia player who stayed at a Georgia school.
I did,
You are credible to speak on such subjects, Fallon Stokes.
Georgia Tech with 4 turnovers, looking like a 5th almost on this one in the last few minutes.
That's going to be a 3-second violation on Kubai, a 5th turnover in the last 4.5 minutes on the Jackets. What's clogging things up for Nell Fortner in the offense?
Well, it's just Kennesaw State is continuing to play that zone defense and clogging the lane. And right now, the outside shots are not falling. Georgia Tech was starting to hit a couple threes in that second quarter. But to start this third quarter or in this third quarter, they're not seeing the basketball fall. And Kennesaw State is just doing a great job clogging the lane and limiting Georgia Tech's second chance opportunities the last few possessions.
A shaky start from deep to begin the year for Tech. They were 2 of 14 against Central Michigan, 3 of 18 tonight. Kubai clears the rebounder, 14th. Oh, you can hear the cries of shooter
right
when Sarah Bates catches.
We know that needed to happen. In the first half, she knocked down 2 big ones in. Wow.
Ulana with the rainmaker from the corner.
Yeah, that was a big shot by the freshman, and she looked comfortable shooting that one, set her feet, and just knocked it down.
First attempt goes down the well. Johnson gets the blow by, off the window, no. And a loose ball foul on the Owls. Hermosa had the inside position, and Jones called for the reach.
Right there, that was a good swing pass. You had Kennesaw, they were playing off too much, and she just shot the basketball and was able to knock it down. And look at her native country woman right there, just giving her the heads up and just showing like 3 to knock down. Loving what she's seeing by Straubina.
There is an international language in basketball, is there not?
It is, it is.
Elizabetta Bulana. And 2 points in 12 minutes against Central Michigan. Hermosa to the line off of Kennesaw State's 5th foul. That makes the Jackets 7 of 14 at the stripe. Hermosa 6 points and 7 rebounds.
You hope these missed free throws don't come back to bite Georgia Tech. Kennesaw State making a bit of a run and playing pretty aggressive on both ends right now.
Minute and a half to go, third quarter. Snipes rejects the stagger, kicks out, three-pointer, rims off.
But that was a nice kick out, wide open opportunity behind the three-point arc. Kennesaw State just couldn't knock it down.
Ulana wants another one and gets another one.
Man, she was near the GT on that one deep. Set her feet, that's her shot. Nice shot by Bulana.
Single-handedly raising that Georgia Tech three-point percentage.
She is. And that's something they needed because they've been in a drought in the second half, not being able to knock down any outside shots.
Johnson almost took advantage of the miscommunication. Misfires the three.
And right now you see McQueen just settling down, bringing the ball up, trying to set something up, and another wide open shot.
Kubai feeding Hermosa.
We've said that a lot with that tandem and how they've been playing together for the last few years. They really work well together. Nice look by Lorella Kubai with the assist.
Georgia Tech snapped its drought quick. 9-0 now. over the last minute 45. Less than a second differential, shot clock to game clock. Baker drifts off. Hermosa picks her up on the switch. Tucks it to Jones for a tough fadeaway. Raises the rim. McQueen with 5. Hustled across the timeline. A chance for a runner to beat the third quarter buzzer. It's off the mark, but Georgia Tech finishes the third on a 9-0 run to the fourth at McCamish. Jackets 55, Owls 26. Before the game, Kiera Fletcher, a well-deserved valedictory as she received a ceremonial ball for crossing the 1,000-point mark last season. Of course, she'll have to wait to build on that career total out this year after undergoing foot surgery, but good to be honored in front of the McCamish fans. You see what she did last year, second on the Yellow Jackets in scoring, second in rebounds, led the team in assists. Her presence will be missed this year, but on the bench, her presence still very much felt.
Right, and definitely so. She has been such a great player for this Georgia Tech ball club during her time here at Tech, and it just sucks to see that she has an injury that's holding her out, but her leadership on the bench and helping these young players, still trying to guide them and be that voice of reason, is going to be very big this season for Georgia Tech.
Morris Baker with the bucket to begin the fourth. She's had a couple of nice finishes. I think Octavia Blue has something with her. Bates no good.
With the freshman. Baker very aggressive, not intimidated, you know, playing Georgia Tech. One of her first time playing against an ACC opponent, and she's had a pretty solid game.
Part of that Pennsylvania pipeline made so popular by Agnes Baronato, the now Georgia Tech Athletic Hall of Famer and 5-year head coach of the Owls.
Yeah, right. When she used to be at Pitt, she used to capitalize on that pipeline and remembers it.
McQueen steps into the three and rattles it down.
Man, when the lefty shoots that three, it looks so nice. And McQueen has been pretty quiet this game, but that was a big-time shot right there by the sophomore.
Yeah, she had been searching for that one. It missed her first 4 as the Jackets stretched the lead to 30.
And right now, Georgia Tech continuing to apply the pressure. Big-time shot by Poole. Nice turnaround, little one-handed hook. Man.
Alexis Poole, who in some respects was Octavia Blue's first big recruiting score, told us a great story. Of course, Poole opted out last season, and when Blue took the job, she arrived at Kennesaw State. Her first day on campus there, she had heard some rumblings that Poole was considering entering the transfer portal for her final season. She said she went on a 30-minute walk across campus with Poole in the rain, no umbrella. But by the end of that walk, Poole had committed to coming back to Kennesaw State, and you knew that had Octavia Blue over the moon, and Poole making her presence felt in this fourth quarter.
Right. You don't want to lose your best scorer. She already didn't play last season due to COVID and opting out. So she was thinking about entering the transfer portal, and Coach Blue got wind of it, got on a flight, came to Atlanta, and was like, nah, we can't lose you. And they had a great conversation about what Poole wanted to do, what she saw herself doing in the future, and it just clicked. So I know Coach Blue is happy to still have Poole on this ball club.
Poole 6 points, 5 boards tonight. She has turned it over 6 times.
Well, I mean, it's been some big-time defense, big plays by the post players for Georgia Tech. And, you know, she can't do it alone, but she's had a lot of different players playing defense against her or being doubled and tripled at some points in this game.
That person there, Octavia Blue, knows how to coach post players.
She does.
As her long, distinguished resume would tell you.
She does. Great recruiter, great coach, been an assistant, was at Miami for a few years, and last season was promoted to associate head coach before she left, but did a great job down there for Coach Meyer, and is continuing to do it in her first season as head coach at Kennesaw State.
Oh, the drop-down pass, Hermosa threading the needle to Aisha Won-Adanaz.
Won-Adanaz. And Coach Blue wasn't happy about that one. You could tell that was on the scouting report, something they've been working on, but it's just Georgia Tech has continued to pass and get that ball in the inside to their post, and the posts have been capitalizing by having big finishes in the paint.
Georgia Tech's been moving the ball well, Fallon. That was a 17th assist and 23 field goals. Shot clock at 7. Johnson edges away on Ocean Won-Adanaz. The turnaround by Poole doesn't fall.
Georgia Tech right there again to collect that rebound, really trying to push the tempo up. And Bates wide open for a corner three.
Off the heel, and Johnson the other way. Stop and pop. Gets the roll.
And that's what she needs to do. Sometimes you can't wait on those teammates.
And that is now point number 1,000 and 1,001 for Amani Johnson, so congratulations to her.
Oh, big congratulations. What an accomplishment. Like I said, to score 1,000 points in your college career, that is a big deal. Not many people can do it.
And Poole gets a hand in the passing lane. Johnson with the bullet pass. It's blocked out of bounds. Kennesaw State to retain.
Yeah, looks like it was great hands by Bates to knock that out. So Kennesaw State didn't get another easy look. But Amani Johnson starting to get it going a little bit, pushing the tempo, being more aggressive on the offensive end. She knows she has to find ways to score, even though she's trying to get her teammates involved.
Jackets up 27, 6.5 to go, fourth quarter. Johnson has a younger sister. She's a second-year freshman at West Liberty University, so that family basketball pipeline continuing.
A good pipeline of players, and you know, she's a great talent. Amani Johnson has been a great asset for Kennesaw State. Trying to figure out a way to slow Georgia Tech down. But Georgia Tech keeps coming. She's still trying to thread the needle and pass to the post because it's been working.
Too tall for Hermosa. Kennesaw picked preseason 7th in the Atlantic Sun, 7-12 last year, just 2-11 in conference. But boy, between Johnson and Poole, that's a pretty good high-low tandem.
That is, and I don't see them finishing the same way they did a season ago. They didn't have Poole last season, so with her back and with the talent that they have coming from the bench with these freshmen, I see them really moving up in the A-Sun this season.
Foul was on McQueen, her third. Kennesaw State there, right in the thick of the A-Sun. Of course, A-Sun changing membership this year. They added Jacksonville State, Eastern Kentucky, Central Arkansas.
Isn't that the trend? Add teams, become a bigger conference. That means more money for the conference. I hear it.
There are some comings and a goings in conference realignments. Free throw good by Rodriguez. Julia Rodriguez, her first point of the night, the sophomore from Bradenton, Florida. Started 4 games last year. Had a season high of 18 against the eventual A-Sun champs Florida Gulf Coast. And not to be overlooked in those preseason A-Sun standings, Florida Gulf Coast, top 25 team.
Yeah, they have some talent down there. They've been a good team for the last few years and very competitive.
The skip, Carter, the 3, little long, won't out of Nas, flying through, keeping it alive. But a push foul called on Strautmana.
Yeah, Ananas and Strautmana were right down there in the paint, trying to get another offensive rebound for Georgia Tech. But they get called. Well, Strautman gets called for the foul, and Kennesaw State gets an opportunity, 5:29 left in this game, to see if they can still capitalize and try and score something in their offensive sets to cut down on Georgia Tech's lead right now in this game.
They've outscored the Jackets 9-5 in the fourth quarter. Bulana picks Johnson's pocket. Almost has it stolen right back. It's poked out of bounds. Tech to retain.
But Bulana, that was headsy. I mean, she was just watching it with her eyes and got her hand in there just in time to poke that ball away and almost got that steal.
Trying to cement her roll off Nell Fortner's bench. And there's some versatility in the backcourt that Nell Fortner still has, even in the absence of Kira Fletcher. We know what Lawtonen can do at the point. They can also move Laurel McQueen to the point. They want to run Lawtonen off the ball. And there's Bulana.
Well, they had to deal with it a season ago when Fletcher was out to start the season. You know, McQueen had to step up as a freshman. She was starting at the point, and then sometimes Lawtonen had to take on those responsibilities, being the backup or starting at the point. So it gave Lawtonen a lot more experience. This ball club, they can handle it. They have a lot of versatility.
5 minutes to go, and a home opener for the Jackets. Up. Lorella Kubai, one of the stalwarts of this Georgia Tech team, led the ACC 16th nationally in double-doubles a year ago. That's what she did across last season, and tonight looks pretty familiar.
It does. I mean, she is consistent, if nothing else, and she can get you a double-double pretty easily. She's always going to be active on the boards. The scoring may not always be there because she doesn't really need to, but I mean, she just capitalizes and finds second chance opportunities. You see her waving on the camera saying, hey to mom, right then when the camera just got her. But she's had an excellent game this evening.
And she is filling up the stat sheet. 5 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal.
Just active. And for a player her size at 6'5", we've always talked about her mobility. She's had it since she came to Georgia Tech as a freshman. And it was just trying to, you know, hone in and really get her to just work on different mechanics to feel comfortable more so in the offense. But defensively and rebounding, it's just she's always had a knack for it.
No surprise, preseason All-ACC. As Juan Adanaz connects on 2 free throws out of the timeout. By the way, Kubai could become just the 2nd player in Georgia Tech history with 1,000 career points and 1,000 career rebounds.
That is incredible.
Shot clock at 2. Ball knifed out of bounds by Carter. It stays with Kennesaw State. Teams reacquainting themselves for the first time since December of 2019. Jackets 13-0 all-time versus the Owls as you get a peek of Lawton and Kubai on the preseason All-ACC list.
As they should be. Last year, Lorella Kubai was a first-team All-ACC candidate, and Lawton was second-team All-ACC. So they both had spectacular seasons. 2 of the big reasons why Georgia Tech was able to make it to the Sweet 16.
Rolling it up and in with Stromlino. I'm a little surprised that Florida State didn't have anybody on the preseason All-ACC list given they're a preseason ranked team.
Right. Well, they may just say it's not one individual player that really stands out. They're just an overall great team. And, you know, Coach Samarow, she's been there for some decades. Knows how to find talent, knows how to cultivate talent, and really build great teams like she's done over her career there.
To the disbelief of Lawton, it's a foul on her. 4th team foul. Nell Fortner similarly perplexed.
She's like, what?
I think she may have a point.
Yeah. It's a little close call. Looks like the refs are discussing it a little bit.
And to compound matters, they say it was in the act of shooting.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Alexis Poole can capitalize on these free throws, given the opportunity.
It's not been a banner night from 15 feet for the Owls. That makes them 7 of 15. By the way, great to see Sue Semrau back on the bench. We knew she took a leave of absence last year. And back stalking the sidelines as she's done so well for so many years in Tallahassee, and she's got quite a team loaded up to compete in the ACC.
She does, and you have to applaud her associate head coach, Brooke Wyckoff, really stepping up in her absence last season and doing a great job with that team.
Could she be one of those associate head coaches in the ACC next in line for a head job like Octavia Blue? Georgia Tech, one of 5 teams preseason top 25. There's an offensive foul on the Yellow Jackets.
And that's when you know, like, the ACC, it has to be right now the best conference in women's basketball with the number of teams they have ranked, the number of teams you see year in, year out that they send to the NCAA tournament. And it just shows the competitive nature. They're going to beat up on each other during the season, but it's going to be a few teams that come out of the fire and make it to the tournament.
Last foul was the 5th on Digna Strautmana, so the freshman Carmen Harrison checks in for the first time. Out in front of Legister in the man-to-man. Left-handed layup is up and good by Rodriguez.
Nice left-handed layup by Rodriguez. She does a nice cut, fumbles the basketball a bit, regathers herself, and is able to finish with the left.
Lana lost the handle coming baseline.
Yeah, Boulan was going to that corner, mishandled the basketball, and saw it as soon as she turned around, like, that's my bad. But she's trying to get her rhythm, just a freshman, trying to learn this offense, figure out how she fits in.
Inside of 3 minutes In tonight's game from McCamish, Bulana gets the long carom. Jackets 40% from the floor. Kennesaw State 30%. The Jackets have been in command all night long.
They have, and now it's given Georgia Tech an opportunity to get some of their younger players in, give them some playing time, some activity, learn the rotations and learn the sets.
Jackets are back at it Sunday versus Belmont. Well, Kennesaw State continues its season against FIU on Sunday. Nice finish by Poole.
The basketball season is just getting started and it's staying busy. I love it.
It's good to be busy again,
good
isn't
to be
it?
busy again.
Bulana into traffic, and she hits the deck hard. Foul call, and Bulana shaken up.
Yeah, that was a hard foul. She drove in pretty hard, but that way she landed on the floor, you could hear it.
Clutching that right knee, it seems.
Oh, man. You hate to see that, especially with the freshmen getting some time.
I'll just show it to you again. Boy, you see just how hard she landed on her right knee.
And that's what we heard from the slap on the floor. It was her knee landing straight on it.
Might have knocked knees with the Kennesaw State player on the way in, too.
That'll shake anybody up. Seems like she's gathering herself, able to get up.
It's always a scene, Fallon, where it might look one way on replay, and you certainly hope that
hopefully she's
it's just not as, just no more than getting your knee knocked.
Yeah. But that's painful. You know, when you're walking in your bedroom and you hit your dresser, or you hit your nightstand, and you want to cry. You just want to fall out. So I can only imagine she hit the floor hard, and her knee landed straight on it.
Well, McQueen will shoot the free throws for her. And she coaches the first one in, the second-year freshman from Florence, South Carolina. Started 21 games last year.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what McQueen brings to the table in her sophomore season. She was incredible as a freshman, just stepped in when Fletcher was absent, and when Fletcher returned, she didn't miss a beat either. And it was a big asset for this Georgia Tech team.
Something Nell Fortner conveyed to her, she does not need to be a replica of Kira Fletcher. She doesn't necessarily need that pressure. They have a lot of experience around her in the backcourt as Carter fills the lane, gets the finish and the foul.
Yeah, Carter, the one they call AC. Nice finish by the sophomore. And she was running. Look at, she was running that lane hard. McQueen had to find her, and a nice connection, nice finish. She's able to draw the foul.
Gives Carter her first bucket. And Anissa Clark in for the first time tonight. Final minute and a half. As Georgia Tech, the number 17 team in the country, will move to 2-0. Poole draws the foul.
And it's still early. Both of these teams still learning and working. Kennesaw State's going to learn from this game because they played a high level of competition tonight in Georgia Tech, and, really just showing where they are. I know it's a difference and a lot of improvement from what they had a year ago. You already see Coach Blue's imprint on this team, and they're going to continue to get better, continue to grow. And Georgia Tech, they're still going to have to figure some things out, I think, offensively, but their work defensively, they're just continuing where they left off a season ago and just really feisty on the defensive end.
At this point in the season, though, who hasn't figured out?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Poole rattles out the second, but Kennesaw State will retain possession. Poole and Johnson tied for the team lead with 10 apiece. But it'll be interesting to see as this season evolves, Fallon, how Georgia Tech adjusts to being a targeted team in the ACC, it's not that they weren't thought lightly of last year as they finished third in the ACC and reached the Sweet 16, but I don't think they were maybe at the front of everybody's mind as a top-tier team in the conference, at least to begin the year. Well, the expectations have totally changed in year 3 under Nell Fortner. Preseason third, preseason ranked. How will they adjust and handle the burden of expectation?
Right, the burden of expectation, the pressure. You know, each year Coach Fortner has been here, Georgia Tech has improved, and they've just built, you know. Nice shot in the corner by McQueen. But that's something that Georgia Tech is going to have to capitalize. They're going to get everybody's best night in, night out. They have to be prepared for it and just continue to work and play hard. And if they play the type of defense that they're capable of playing, I think they're going to be in a game every night.
Yeah, another stifling that on the defensive end. Rodriguez cutting across the lane.
And Rodriguez is showing some of her athleticism late in this game, and she's made some nice cuts and has some really good finishes.
And another dime by the all-time leader in that category for the Owls, Amani Johnson.
Yeah, Amani Johnson, an incredible talent. She's going to get better, and she's going to continue to be a leader for this Kennesaw State team and show improvement as they try to prepare for the A-Sun this season.
She is fun to watch. Eyes up, leading the break all the way through and off the glass. Amani Johnson crossing the 1,000-point mark earlier this half. That gives her a dozen. 7 rebounds, 4 assists as well. But all Georgia Tech tonight playing for the first time with their Sweet 16 banner hanging overhead in the Camus Pavilion. They rack up win number 2 of the season under Nell Fortner. Final score, Jackets 72, Kennesaw State 45. A double-double for Lorella Kubai, who led the ACC in that category last year. 12 points, 15 boards for Kubai, 5 assists as well. And a lot of respect between Nell Fortner and Octavia Blue. Their journey's only just beginning this season. But on this night in Atlanta, it was all Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it was Georgia Tech tonight. They were incredible on the defensive end. Really crashed the board, second chance opportunities, offensive putback. That was the key in this game.
That'll wrap things up from McCamus Pavilion for our entire ACC Network crew. My broadcast partner, Fallon Stokes, Andy Demetra saying so long. Georgia Tech, a 72-45 winner. This has been a presentation